Hey guys, Parfex here. Alright, I know it's been a little over a week since I've done a video. I was gone for a week and now I'm back. So I want to give you guys race breakdown in 2.1. Alright, let's get started. Alright, we're going to start over here with the Daggerfall Covenant side and Breton. Bretons are a Magicka based class and they synergize the best with Templars. You cannot beat a Breton Templar healer. The Bretons have cost reduction, spell resistance, and magic. There's no better race for healing than a Breton. Alright? Orcs. Orcs got a slight change. They kept the robust passive, unfortunately, but they gave him a little bit of melee damage. So where they're not going to be top DPS when it comes to melee, Imperial is still going to be better. They're still going to be a viable pick if you really just want to be an orc. Okay, because I know there's a lot of orc love, and in Skyrim, that's what I played. I played an orc and I loved it. Special abilities were amazing, and I kind of fell in love with the orc. Unfortunately, in this game, they're one of the weakest classes in the game. Having said that, none of these classes, this is what sometimes I come across, and I tell you my opinions, and you guys don't listen to everything that I say. Every race you can use with any class and you can be successful with it. No matter what, you can use a Breton Stamina Sork or a Breton Stamina Nightblade and you can still be good. But having said that, if you make a different race change, you will be better. Okay, and that's the only thing I'm saying. I know a lot of people's got a lot of hate for my top 5 worst race class combos, and I stick by it. There has been a changes, and one of those races are going to come off my top 3. But, so that's that. Yes, orcs are going to be good melee DPS. They're going to be some pretty good Nightblades. They're still not going to be the top. But, you know, if you want to pick an orc because you like them, screw it, do it. Don't listen to what anybody else says. Alright, Redguard. Redguards are very good in stamina as well. They get stamina back on hit. They get stamina recovery. And they're just good. Again, they're about in the orc class where they're not the best stamina race, but they're definitely viable. I would not use an orc or a Redguard for magic use. But Redguard didn't change in this patch. So, if you liked Redguard before, you're going to still like it. Alright, High Elf. Oh, that's so close, so close. They did make a change to High Elf and gave them more magic recovery, but they ended up taking it back. I know. For DPS, for a magic user, High Elf is the best. It gives elemental damage, it gives magic recovery, and it gives magic. You're looking for the top end magic DPS for everything debatably other than a DK. And I'll explain that here in a second. You want to go High Elf. Alright. Next is Wood Elf. Wood Elf is my favorite for small or solo group PvP. They get a 21% stamina regeneration, which is absolutely key for stamina DPS for small group in PvP. They're not a great PvE class. They really don't get... They get a small stamina and they get a sneak bonus. So when it comes... If you want to be the top PvE, you're not going to be a Wood Elf. Yes, you can still pull great numbers. I still pull pretty dang good numbers with my Wood Elf. But if I was maybe an orc or an Imperial, depending on what I'm doing, bow or melee, it would be better. But for PvP, for stamina, Bosmer is my favorite. Next is Khajiit. Now, this is the race that now comes off of my top 3 worst races. Okay, if you want to be able to do decent PvP, decent PvE, this is your class. This is a perfect mix between PvE and PvP. I wish they'd have done a little bit more with the stamina, but they gave the Khajiits 10% stamina regen. Now they still kept some health regen, which is complete garbage. But they made them viable, and they upped the amount of crit you get. Crit sucks in this update, but it's still a little bit extra DPS. Crit doesn't equate to nearly as much as like if they gave the Khajiit stamina. But having said that, they're a very good mix between PvE and PvP. They're right on line with like an Orc. Orc and Khajiit are kind of in the same place now. Except for Khajiit, you can use a bow, and they can be really good with a bow. You can do bow with Orc, but it doesn't synergize nearly as well. So, yes, so all you Khajiit lovers, rejoice! You are not, in my opinion, the worst race ever. We'll save that for last. Argonian! I'm sorry, Argonian users. The changes they made are bad. You're really overall, it's, in my opinion, the worst race in the game. And that's just because of the passives. Swim speed, you're never going to use. You get more stuff from potions, yippee skippy. That does not increase your DPS whatsoever. And then your last passive is swim speed, potions, and increased healing received. Now, I am bringing this up to ZeniMax. I would like to see Argonians get, instead of increased healing received, I'd like to see it increased to increased all healing done. Because I know there's actually a lot of Argonian Templars out there. Because Argonian's a great... Look at him. Who doesn't want to be frickin' a mini Godzilla? I mean, come on. I mean, let's not get it twisted. Argonians are sick looking. Argonians and Khajiits are my two favorite looking classes. Who doesn't want to be a lion or Godzilla? I mean, I do at least. Some people might not want to be lion or Godzilla. They might want to look like their character. But, I mean, I love Argonians and Khajiits. They're just... They've taken a hit on all this. Alright, and like I said, Argonians, not really good at anything, but if you want to RP, do it. If you like Argonians, just excuse my language, just frickin' play it. Alright, Dark Elf. Now, there is a debate between whether Dark Elf or High Elf are better for DKs. Dark Elf will apply more of your fire damage, which a DK pretty much always does. Dark Elf, you can do magic or stamina, because they do get a stamina bonus as well. So, Dark Elf is one of the strongest races in the game. It's probably overall my second favorite, if you're like me and you like to switch back and forth. First being Imperial by quite a bit. But Dark Elf gives you magic, gives you stamina, gives you extra fire damage, and everybody pretty much does fire damage. Some type of fire damage. Some classes don't, but you know, Dark Elf's a great race, and they're exactly what they are. They're Dark Elves. You can be a vampire because you get a fire reduction passive. They do extra fire damage. They have magic and stamina. They're great for whatever you want to do. They synergize well with every race, or every class, every playstyle. They synergize fantastic. Okay, and another class that is bad is Nord. Nord, they gave a little bit of a buff, not much. They still have that crappy robust passive, and they gave them a little bit of health. That's it. Nords are probably Nords are the second worst class in the game, next to Argonians. The only thing they synergize with is being a little tank, a tank. Having said that, I would rather have probably 3 different races other than a Nord for tanks, but I have a Nord myself. So I'm in that boat. All right, last and definitely not least, my favorite race in the game by quite a landslide is Imperial. Now, there's been some discussion about whether this is behind a pay gate because you have to buy this, and this is arguably the best race in the game. For those that you do not know, this race gives you 12% health, 10% stamina, and heals you when you do physical attacks. It is absolutely good for whatever. You can do magic DPS, stamina DPS, tanking, healing. It is great for everything. I did magic DPS on my Imperial Knight Blade for a long time. And I didn't get gimped that much, especially in PvP, because of the fact that I had 12% health. So I could put all of my points into magic, and I had almost the amount of magic that my magic users have, because they were putting points into health. Now that's changing as the games go on. Imperial's going to be less and less of a magic DPS for PvE, just because you're going to need less and less health. But for PvP, people will argue with you about this is the best magic race, as well as best stamina race. Because you get all that extra health, all that extra stamina, which especially is very crucial in 2.1. Because all your break, freeze, and your dodge rolls are going to just eat up your stamina. If you hit the dodge roll twice in a row, you really can't do that on any other magic race that doesn't give you stamina. So, if you don't know what to play, you don't know, you love the game, you have the Imperial Edition. If you have no idea what to play, I'm going Imperial. Because you can play whatever you want. Magic, stamina. And you can play a Khajiit magic user. Okay? Just know that you're going to be gimped in a lot of areas where somebody's not. So, this wasn't meant to trash any of the races. This was meant to tell you the updates since 2.1 has been released, what my opinions of all of the races are, and what the changes. Khajiits, you are no longer in the top 3 worst races. So, rejoice! Alright guys, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it. I'll be putting out more ESO videos, maybe even some other games, but I'm sticking to ESO for the moment. So, thanks for watching guys. This is Parfax, and I'll see you in Tamriel.